you heard all of that. Oh no. Well, hi. How are you? I'm off to a great start. Basically had the stream crash on me. Again, volleyball spiked my headphones into the ground trying to get up from my chair. And, yeah, we're off to a great start. Welcome to Project Zomboid, everybody. Oh, crap. For those of you unfamiliar and uninitiated, Project Zomboid is a brutal 1990s zombie apocalypse game centered in Kentucky in the outbreak of what's called the Knox virus. This game started with a solo dev who was making I believe it was a Sims 2 or Sims 1 mod. And since then, since 2013, this game has become what it is today. I do play with mods. 90% of them are vehicle mods from KI5 that add all period-specific vehicles, with the exception of some Easter eggs. The Payday Escape van, for example. Just to have something goofy. The other stuff that I do is like more damaged objects. If I drive into something, it breaks it. Lifestyles adds music and the ability to play things. TV, radio reinvented, gives a new UI to things, you know, just stuff like that. But yeah. I'm going to do a custom sandbox because there's one thing in hobbies that I don't like that I'm going to get rid of. And because I also like to play with Romero zombies. And I think though, with the sheer mass of individuals that you have to deal with, I think they're very fun. So with that, without further ado, you have 5 options that you can play at as starting without mods. With mods, you can pretty much spawn anywhere on the map. Without mods, these are your options. I personally don't think that starting in any one of these is terribly different from the other. Rosewood, it tends to be a very beginner-friendly because a lot of people like to take over the fire station and go from there. Clearing the penitentiary out is a nightmare, however, on the other hand of that, and is what gets most people killed. West Point, on the other end of that, I believe, is a trap. I don't know what it is, I've never researched it, and I don't know why, but I genuinely believe that West Point doubles the population of zombies placed in the world. Personal opinion. So, I say, let us do... See, I used to do Riverside constantly because there was this set of 3 houses just off to the side that you could take over and live in, and they were amazing. But they have since gotten rid of them. So I'm actually going to start in Echo Creek. Never been here before. I don't think I've ever started here once. So, it ought to be interesting. I do have a preset that I call YouTube. Big things at this change. Bumps up our zombie count to very high. Does turn off zombie respawn. That way we do have a sense of progression. And it turns them into Romero zombies. You know what? We are going to do a random sprinter amount. We are going to turn that at, we're going to bounce that to 1% and just see how that does. Because there are thousands of zombies in this game, and just to have a random sprinter come at us is going to be enough. Loot spawn is perfectly fine. Nothing changes there. Let's see, initial gas amount I did bump these up to full because I have gotten screwed by this before and there wasn't gas in the world anywhere. The rest of this is all basic and normal. Meta events, I've turned on sleeping, I've turned on, I've kept meta events, which are just things that attract zombies in the distance, on as well. The rest of this is normal. Characters. I do normally do 100 free points when I'm playing on my own because my personal opinion is it doesn't matter and you're going to die anyway. But for now, we're just going to leave this at 0. We will not do all clothing unlocked. XP we will drop to... No, we will keep at 1.5 because nobody wants to sit here for a literal month in real world. And this will go back to 1. Alright, that's good to go. Vehicles. I personally think with 5 days after the zombie apocalypse, you would find more survivor stuff and vehicles wouldn't be like they'd been sitting in a lot for 3 years of their life. So, I bumped this up just for my own personal reasons. The rest of the stuff, don't worry about too much, but we are going to come back down here, and we are going to go to hygiene and cleaning. And, oh, no, main settings, actually. We're going to disable hygiene. I do that because I can't get rid of just hygiene. So, as far as I'm tracking, that keeps the, oh, wait. Wonder if I can get away with this. Wonder if I can get away with just turning it off and bouncing that up. Anyway, the cleaning is the big thing that I think we should keep because I do like keeping house. Alright, now with that being said, this is your character creator. It is like Cataclysm, what is it, Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead? CDDA. If you look that up, you'll find it. There's an entire challenge in this game called the CDDA challenge, and it is hardcore. Anyway, this character creation scene takes inspiration from them. So you can choose your custom occupation. We will be doing lumberjack, and each of these kind of give you certain bonuses to certain things right out the gate. A good example, and a very beginner-friendly one, is veteran and desensitized. You're immune to panic, no unhappiness while looting corpses, higher chances of nightmare. You get aiming and reloading bonuses, but you have to take on at least 8 points of negative things like weak stomach, conspicuous, hard of hearing, hearty appetite, sleepyhead, unlucky, in order to balance it out and make a character that allows you to play. I will be doing the expert, and I normally pick things that are kind of benign, like dexterous, outdoorsy, and some of these are mods, like the hobby, hider, lumberjack, flexible, crafty. Those are all things added by my mods' expanded traits. But it keeps the game interesting and fun. It keeps me coming back. We'll be doing lucky, and we'll be doing organized. So now, as you can see, oh, and we'll do antique collector because I've never done this one, and it adds some really cool stuff in the world for us to find. But now I have to come in here and I have to add in negative traits, and I have to balance them out. Some of these are bearable. Some of these not so much. So like for us, we'll take High Thirst. We'll take the Slow Reader because it's single player and we can fast forward. We'll take Smoker, which I heard was debuffed in build 42, so we'll see what changes. We will take Conspicuous, which means that stealth is going to be extremely difficult for us. And we'll take Deprived, which means we start with literally nothing on our backs. So now we have three more points that we need in order to balance things out. So... here's what I'm thinking. We will take... No, we're not taking short of breath. Good God, no. I think we will take out of shape. Which drops our fitness to 2. It gives us 3 more points to spend. And that means I can take one more thing that'll be beneficial to us. And I think that might be vehicle knowledge, but no, we'll take quick rest. That'll balance us out. And now here's the thing. Ultimately, none of this matters. I'm gonna die anyway. So, this is how you create your character. You create a name, a forename, and a surname. You choose male or female. You have all of these options for clothing. And again, it doesn't really matter too much because you will, again, find new things out in the world. You will deal with things that may or may not improve your chances at survival. It all depends on how lucky you may or may not be. The only thing I will say is let's not do the baggy jeans because they actually slow your running speed down. Lessons learned. Long socks are good because they have a little bit more of a warmth bonus than others. And then you want sneakers over shoes because sneakers have a bonus to running. So there we go. There's our voice. Hey. We will go to... a lot of these are added in by Spongies. That's another really good mod, and it'll add a lot of cool clothing that we can find. But I am a basic bitch, and we will be going with a right parting, because I don't know anything else in my life other than military haircuts. And we will go with nothing and stubble. So there we are. The thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change these sneakers, and that's us. And that's as simple. That's that simple. These are the end times. There was no hope of survival. Oh, don't you do it to me. Did you just freeze on me again? No. Oh, don't you do it. I might have just frozen on me. No, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Oh, you son of a gun. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Let me fix this. I'm sorry. The one thing I will say is running this many mods is very memory intensive, and my computer is from 2020. So I'm about 5 years behind on the whole GPU thing. Give me 1 second. The good thing is I have all of this saved as defaults, so as soon as I am back up and running, I will change us back over to live. Loading Lua. You guys should be hearing the music here in any second. I can turn you back to live now so you guys can see what's going on. This is me, and that's the Indie Stone. That is the GOAT behind this game. Alright. We were doing Echo Creek because I'd never been there. We will, you know what? Let's just go straight raw. Lumberjack, we had Dexterous. I know what it says for points, I'm not worried about it. We're rebuilding exactly what we had before. I think I got lucky. And first. Slowly reader, smoker, conspicuous, not claustrophobic. Out of shape, deprived. Looks about right. We're missing something. Outdoorsman is what we're missing. Where did that go? That's herbalist. Outdoorsy, there it is. Alright. Fingers crossed this time. Sorry about that, guys. Once we get through the first loading screen, we're golden. It's just running this many mods is kind of labor intensive. And as much as I want to show off all the cool stuff, maybe I need to take them off. This is how you died. Yeah, I could make myself a super soldier. It will not matter. I will die at some point in this game. Even if it's not the Z's that get me, it is disease, it is starvation, it is exposure. This game does not care if you are John Project Zomboid. It does not care if it is you, Mr. PZ himself. You will die. And you will be forgotten. Alright. So, you start off in a house, usually. And the first thing you want to do is you want to find some form of weapon. For me, because I chose the Deprived, which is a modded trait, I also need to immediately find clothing. Otherwise, I am indeed just a walking snack bag. I've never been to Echo Creek, so one of the things that you guys will have to experience with me is finding out what is around us. I could make a board, but I'm more interested in finding clothing. What was I saying? Oh yeah, finding thing, you guys will be experiencing this with me for the first time. Oh, these are much better. And, please forgive me if I make dumb mistakes. Now, a quick explanation of what's going on behind us. One of the things that I have on in my custom setup is that zombies can trigger, house alarms and other situations. They can destroy things that are just in and around the world. And can just be general menaces. You don't have shoes, so I'm stealing yours. Thank you for your donation, good sir. Alright, and we're gonna want a wallet here in a minute. Alright, this is us. Echo Creek's definitely a farm town, and it looks like whatever that house alarm was in this direction. So we'll clear out this Zed here. Steal their sneakers, because those are better than shoes. They have a bonus to sprinting. And we'll hit that next house. My goal with this stream, while I am actively learning how to deal with, I believe it's Into the Void, no, Voices of the Void, excuse me. That's what I was trying to say earlier. My goal with this is to continue as long as I can, and once I die, that's it. And to get used to playing the game again in preparation for a series that I might be doing with a couple of friends of mine on PZ. Because this game is so much better with friends, I'm not even joking. But, again, like I said, that's it. While I am learning how to work the UI for Voices of the Void. I did the tutorial like 3 times. I do not understand how things are supposed to work here. And I know that is a commentary on me more than anything. But I digress. Okay, so we have clothes now. Deprived is no longer an issue for us. These are our skills. You have everything from aiming and reloading with firearms to melee combat with spears, blunt and blade weapons. Crafting is everything from blacksmithing to forging to glassmaking to tailoring. It gets nuts. I love it. But these are the ones that we're going to want to focus on early game. Drive these up and you will become formidable in the face of the Nox virus. You will not win. There is no winning. God, that got me. Alright, now that I've jump scared myself. There is no winning in PZ. Only survival. Only survival until you become food. There are certain things, too, that you want regardless. And that is... Oh, we have heavy socks. Never mind, that's better. Keep the normal socks on. You want a backpack. You want a weapon. You want a water bottle. Once you have those, you can start focusing on increasingly more important long-term survival situations. Like, welding torch would be amazing right now. We don't have the equipment or the time and materials to take care of that. Nor do we have the ability to carry that without overweighing ourselves. I really shouldn't even need to take this, to be honest. The socks are good to hold on to because they weigh less than a pound, and I can rip them up to take care of any wounds that I might incur. Screwdriver is good because it lets us do certain things. But we really need that backpack. Where we took Lumberjack in the beginning, an axe will also be amazing for us. Speak of the devil. Another thing that I just realized that we need to be on the lookout for is a belt. A belt will give us 2 more slots down here for carrying and maintaining weapons. Right now, we can only put one thing on our back, and that is our drying pan. But where Axeman really shines is with hatchets and axes. Dealing with the undead in the forest. So if we play this smart, we won't get overwhelmed. But we need to be smart. Right now we're far enough away from that main group that I'm not too terribly worried about taking this kid down. I'm actually going to leave those guys alone because if that door is locked, they're going to break that down for me. So we're just going to sneak inside and see what we can find. I'm going to steal the salad because that's food. I'm going to steal the Steyr AUG A3 that somebody just has in their closet. God, I love America. That's a mod. I will be fully honest with you. Alright, so now here are some problems that we're going to experience. I am down on weight. I've picked up rifles, and I've picked up 9 pounds of equipment. Plus, I've spent nothing since the first time I got here fighting. I'm gonna start getting weak here soon. Once I start getting weak, I will become useless. And if you guys remember that horde that's literally sitting right outside, I'll be dinner. So, I'm not pushing that group yet. We're gonna hit this, and then we're gonna go. I'm looking for a belt. That's my main goal right here. And if I don't get it, that's tough. we're going to keep an eye on that, and we're going to keep an eye on those guys. And while I do a little inventory management, I'm going to hopefully wait for those guys to break that down. Nobody's coming up on my 6. We'll just shove this salad into our face. And, that AUG is a nice find very early on. I don't think I am going to keep it, though. Yeah, see, mod. B42 Reigns, Firearms, and Guns parts expanded. Awesome mod. And if you're a gun nut like me, it's pretty sweet. But again, we have no ammo. We have no training in weaponry. I think I'm gonna drop it in a location that I can easily remember and just leave it as is. You know what? Let's actually drop it in the starting house that we had. Because we have full reign of this baby. So I'm going to keep the claw hammer in case the axe drops out on me. I'm going to keep the socks in case I need emergency bandages. And we will push the opposite direction. I don't know where I'm going. I've never done Echo Creek. But I know I'm not ready for that. Another thing that 42 added that I absolutely love are animals. I've done nothing with livestock and I would like to learn. I've heard it's broken, but for now, I'm just going to leave it as is. I don't know if the zombies attack the animals either. I don't think they do. It's just kind of interesting. Looks like we got a bit of a reprieve here. Let's take out this dude. Sometimes there are perk magazines, traits magazines, mainly things that teach you recipes. Actually, we're going to switch it, so we're not going to use the axe. If you use something with a blade, you run the risk of damaging whatever they're wearing. So, for example, you can see where it says holes 1. Condition is dropped. So I don't actually want to wear that. If you use something blunt, you negate that problem. And again, those magazines, like I was saying, they teach you how to craft certain things. So like right now, with Outdoorsman, we know how to make animal traps. But we don't know how to make pipe bombs or anything. That's an engineer thing. Or something that we learn if we find the magazine. I hear something, but I don't know what it is. We're just gonna clear each of these rooms. Yep. Hi. Good night, sweet prince. Do you have a belt? You don't. Slow methodical will be your friend. I'm starting to think Echo Creek's a very beginner-friendly edition, because everything that I'm seeing is all rural farmhouses. And I'm used to I've expected larger groups. Remember, we are on very high pop. And I didn't tweak the... I don't believe I tweaked the... I don't believe I tweaked any of the... Oh, I can't see shit. Yeah, let's, much gooder. I don't believe I tweaked the loot. Let me finish my sentences, finally. Alright, you are going to be a much better weapon for length. Some things are better, like, the long stick for keeping people at bay. Here's an example of the, magazines. So, where it says teaches, make 84 Jeep Cherokee XJ rear door. Those kind of things are what you need to keep an eye out for. What was I saying? Oh yeah. keeping things at bay. Certain things are better than others, like the long stick, the wooden planks, the baseball bat. But they don't do the same amount of damage an axe would do, or a crowbar. So you want to kind of balance out your choices in terms of, do I want to use blunt damage in order to preserve equipment? Or do I want to use bladed damage in order to preserve my strength and put them down faster? Fences are going to be your friend. Depending on what settings you're on, zombies can lunge from a fence, and they can do damage to you by ripping at you or even tripping you and making you drop. Other settings, they just fall flat on their face. Either way, they're amazing pieces of equipment to utilize in your fights because they let you get some space between you and the coming horde. Alright, we are going to... We're going to upgrade to the steel rod. And we are going to put the iron bar on our back and drop this frying pan. They are better weapons, in my opinion, than the frying pan is. Alright, where can we go from here? We've got a barn. More road. Am I safe? I'm safe. Things can eat you while you're looking at your map. My headphones are on backwards. That'll get me killed. Things can eat you while you're looking at your map. Time does not stand still. It looks like that crowd is going to be our best bet for loot too. So we might need to leave the town. They will move at night, and they will move in into spaces that zombies have been cleared in. So even if you play with no respawn, people will come to face you. Ooh, you have a belt. I want your belt, sir. Give me your belt. Give me your belt. A lot of this has been added by Vanilla Gear Expanded, another excellent mod I highly recommend. I am only going to take the things that I think we need, though. So, for example, elbow pads, I don't think we need. I think it's unnecessary uncomfortableness. However, knee pads are going to be good. Especially if we deal with, if we deal with crawlers. The gas mask is going to be good. If you can see, it adds 30 to bite and scratch defense. And it's in good condition. So we're going to wear that. And then, because drip. However, we're not actually going to wear the gas mask right now, because if you wear too much, your character is going to get exhausted, he's going to get uncomfortable, and then he's going to fight more poorly. Can I get one or two of them? I got two of them. The other two haven't noticed me. Come on, guys. Patience is a virtue. If you were playing CDDA, or if you were playing a Zero to Hero mission, where you take all of the negative traits, or you were really crippling yourself with like overweight, unfit, short of breath, you want to take zombies at 1 or 2 at a time. I'm not playing a power fantasy, but I also didn't want to cripple myself so far that you guys didn't get to see any actual gameplay. Ah, normal belt. Beautiful. So now, we have a holster, and we have our belt option. So all of that stuff that we picked up, our hand axe, our claw hammer, all of those can now get added to our access wheel. And all I gotta do is hit a button to pull it out, but it still takes me a little bit of time. Plan for that. If you're going to clear in a horde, my strongest recommendation to you, have extra weapons on hand out of your backpack. it will slow you down in the beginning, but by one, slowing you down in the beginning, it will keep you from getting overconfident, and two, you will, once you break a weapon, have immediate access to one that will replace it. Let's see, we're not in a place to start accessing planting. That is a long term. But the garden fork is exactly what we need to clear out the rest of that horde. So we have a lot of stuff on our hands. Let's go drop this off at the house. Yeah, we're getting weighed down. And then let's go clear that horde, because the garden fork counts as a spear. And I'm about to show you the brokenness of the spear. Hello, little Bababas. I love this game. I cannot overstress this enough. The amount of love and attention that this game has gotten over the years from its devs is phenomenal. So this game started as a... I think I said it in the beginning when we first started the stream, but it started as a Sims 2 mod. And the solo dev from starting in, I think, 2013, built this game up into what you see now. There was a point in time where it was almost completely 2D. And, it was phenomenal. Nope, we want those. We'll wear the half respirator because it's not as uncomfortable. We've got an iron bar, claw hammer. This is not going to break anytime soon. Handle, head condition. Yeah, so we'll drop the extra claw hammer. Alright, cool. We're in a good spot. Let's go clear that horde. Maybe get us some good gear. That dev I was telling you about, at one point in time, everything for Project Zomboid's build was on a laptop. That laptop was stolen out of his apartment and set the game's development time back by like 5 years. So when I tell you that this game is a labor of love, I cannot overstate that. Come on. Pull it back so I can get a full swing on you. Nobody else. Come on, buddy. Sometimes pushing them can put them off balance. Other times it puts you in the middle of the board. Just know when to do it and when not to. Pushing is outright faster than swinging in almost every scenario. I think the only faster melee than pushing is pistol whipping. Now, let me introduce spears. Once you get your skill up, spears are broken, and the garden pitchfork becomes a god tier weapon. But even right there. Maybe I should have turned multi-hit off, but as you can see, it just drops them. And what would have been a struggle for us to deal with becomes just cleaning house. Pokey pokey, mate. One thing to remember though is every bladed weapon, spears included, add holes to zombies. So if you see somebody that has gear you want, make sure to swap to blunt or push them over and stomp their head in. So in comparison, here's our axe. And this is with a dedicated perk from our procession. Did we attract anybody else? No, perfect. You saw it only for a second there, but you guys notice the muscle strain? That is something that your character will get the longer they swing at things, and the longer that they carry heavy weight, break certain items down, like vehicles or trees, and as you work out. You literally have an entire thing for working out, the regularity of which you work out, which improves your ability to gain experience. This thing's got layers, man. So we're going to sit for a moment. Even with just what little that we have on here and the respirator, we're still uncomfortable. So keep that in mind when you're living out your full SWAT riot officer army build. You've got to account for your equipment, your gear, and think of it as if you were wearing that gear. How would you feel, you know? I've been in MOP level 4. I think it's miserable, and I would never want to fight something in it. Some zombies will have literal weapons either on them or sticking out of them. Sometimes they're worth taking, so like the fillet knife. Now that we have a knife, we can whittle down plank boards into spears. And we can save our garden pitchfork for later, once we've cleared out, or once we've leveled up our skills even more. Just a couple of these. Spears are broken, man. They're so good. But yeah, I like to play this game like it's if you've ever seen the show Zom 100, it's an anime about a dude who escapes his dead-end job thanks to the zombie apocalypse. And yeah, one of the things that I like to do is come up with a list of goofy ideas as to, you know, how I would want to live my life if I had nothing left to lose. So while we do these streams, because again, I have yet to figure out Voices of the Void, again, that says more about me than the game, I just am dumb, I would like you guys to come up with goals for me to complete as we play. You know, drive a Humvee through the Kentucky barricade, or, you know, clear out a military base, or something to that effect. I will do my best, but on very high pop, those might be multi-days endeavors. I think inside the prison, and there are 2 of them now, inside the prison, you have triple population for the zombies. Either that, or it's double population, and it's the Louisville hospital that has triple population. Either way, think about it, let me know. Drop it in the chat, and I can literally start a list in the game, and we can check off those goals that you guys give me as we go. This right here, your weight, is literally how many calories you're burning versus how many calories you're intaking. In, like, the CDDA challenge, the apocalypse mode, where food is basically non-existent, and for whatever reason, everybody in Kentucky decided to toss every grocery straight into the river at the same time for no reason whatsoever. They can be a challenge to find and keep your weight up, and that's where I'm telling you things like, I want the SWAT hat, I don't care. Things like starvation, things like exposure will still kill you, even if you have created this super soldier character. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it's your game. Play however the hell you want, man. I'm glad I stopped. That garage looks promising. I don't know what's on the other side of the river, but we do not have to fight those guys, so I'm not going to. This is the one that I was using. Let's keep using it until it breaks. We're going to give these guys a wide berth. In fact, let's find out if we can get into this garage. You can upgrade cars, and with the mod My Project Summer Car, you can get in depth as to restoring engines and handling oil levels. Not everybody's a masochist, so If you don't like that level of detail, don't download the mod. That's just a me thing. You can build entire houses. If your carpentry's good enough, they may even look nice. Can't get in that. That's locked. I should have left them banging on that. You can build entire farms. You can plumb your house with rain catches if you're smart enough. I'm not, so that might be a good goal for me to learn. Build literally the entire barricades. There are also mods called Save Our Station, SOS, where the radio stations, as the game goes on, go down based on the expanding Nox virus. Save Our Station allows you to go and rescue one of the radio stations in order to keep music on the air. All really fun things that this community that loves this game keeps me coming back to it every time. And again, if you have a group of friends, the shenanigans are worth it in of themselves. Is this all just planks of wood? Well, that'll be good for building a house later, but for now, it doesn't do us anything. Okay, what do we got? A vehicle's going to be a nice thing for us to find. If we can get that, we're mobile, and finding wilderness places to sleep is going to be solid. Until then, we're going to have to barricade ourselves in the room each night. You can 100% sleep through zombies breaking down your door and eating your giblets. Did I alert that horde? I alerted one, but I didn't alert the horde, so we're gonna close this up and let him bang on that for a bit. Now, if you look, see how the door's shaking? That means the Z is behind here beating this down. So as soon as I open it, I'm gonna swing. I'm gonna let him come back because that room is dark and I don't know how many more of them are in there. Alright, looks like the other dude that we alerted is now here. No? Oh, he must be beating on that door up there. I thought I saw that shaking. Light switch. So there are a couple of people here. Nope, he's down. Okay. Priorities, priorities. If I had a knife, I could insta-kill some of these guys by sneaking up on them. Alas, I don't. But getting a little strength training don't hurt anybody. You, my good friend. Let's knock you over. Please? There we go. Right. Sorry, Herb. And based on the lack of banging, I'd say the building is ours. Is there anything worth us taking right now? Like I said, I'm really, right now, looking for an axe, like a wood axe. We can find that. We can start cutting down trees, and we can take over the world. Heavy socks. Notepad. I need that to write down your guys' idea for challenges. And I'll need a pencil to do it as well. We will wear this hoodie. That'll give us a little bit more protection from the February air. Drink a little drinky drink. And get going. So it looks like this is basically just the town auto shop. So that makes me wonder if there's a benefit to coming up here other than maybe having a place to stay for the night. Because I doubt very seriously we will have to deal with that if we stay up here and we keep the door closed. The more doors and the more appliances and the more materials you can put between you and the Horde, the more delayed your death. I'm not going to say the better off you are, I'm just going to say the more delayed. Alright, nothing up here. If we had a base going, those like water dispensers that you saw from like that belong in an office, those are good to steal and bring back with you because you can you can purify water and refill those bottles. There's nothing in there that makes me want to go and check that out. So, across the river we go. I've yet to find a backpack. So at least 2. We got a horde on the, well, a group on the other side, not a horde. Oh, and they're moving. Perfect. Never mind, not perfect. Well, shit. Let's make this quick. Did they... One heard me, but if I leave, I won't be around long enough for him to find me. Fighting makes noise, weapons make noise, the type of weapon matters that makes noise. So like this steel pipe will make more noise than the pitchfork. The the iron bar will make slightly less noise than the steel pipe because it's not hollow, but it'll still ding. Maybe the laundromat. Oh, crap. Why don't you come out instead, buddy? That could have been the end. Could have been bitten there. And sometimes they get lucky and they just bite straight through your gear. This is how you died. Your super soldier doesn't matter. Okay, no backpacks. I'll let them continue on the door, and I'm gonna go out the way I came. That is a gas station, a water tower, and a car. That car might be worth it. We're uncomfortable again, probably because of the gas mask. Ooh, fire car. Hacks, please. Duffel bag, maybe? A duffel bag would be sweet. No, but I will take extra leather gloves. Fire... I'll come back for that fire helmet. We could wear that right now, and that would also give us bonuses. Nope, K5's not happy about me trying to get into the truck. Bandages are good. We want those. Yeah, alright. So here's a perfect example of wanting to use blunt versus sharp. I want his pants. You don't hear that often. This firefighter, his pants are super rip resistant. Oh, and one's got a duffel. Even better. If I can get their gear... I got a car key. I am set up so well. Okay, this one's stuff's all ripped, so we're gonna go for this one instead. Yes! Wait, why did I equip you? I want to wear you. Let me wear you. Why? Why can't I wear you? Porque? There we go. Now, we have a backpack, which means now we can store things in it without being horrendously over-encumbered. So when we go and get ready to fight another large group, I'll pull out some of those weapons, like I was telling you, and have those ready for when I am prepping to go in for a fight. And we will... His jacket's messed up. His is even worse. Okay. We'll just take one helmet, and we'll check the rest of this house. I'll throw that gear on, I will prep to fight the Horde, and then I will take it off again so I can move and fight, or move and loot unimpeded. Sometimes you can figure out why the house caught on fire, and normally it's the stove getting left on, but sometimes they don't give you any inclination. And there's a lot of love that went into this game, like dealing with, sleeping bag, yes please. Dealing with, you know, the stories that you find. You'll find house parties at the end of the world. Yeah, probably the cigarette in the basement that started it all. You'll find house parties at the end of the world. You'll find, for lack of a better term, and to deal with YouTube's TOS, people who gave up before the apocalypse could take them. One of the most heartbreaking moments I've ever had in this game, and I had to, like, walk away for a moment, was a bedroom. And in that bedroom was, you know, evidence of a struggle. And a child who didn't make it. And there are no children in the game. But the implication thereof was like one of those moments where I genuinely got punched in the gut playing this. And it's those kind of things that keep me coming back every single time. Because this game has love and attention and care that gets put into it. And it tells you stories without sitting there and telling you what happened. And I think that's an amazing thing. Alright, let's go check out the truck that we got. Dead battery, crap engine, dead gas. But... dead battery. Never mind. I don't know why I did that. One tactic, if this car had batteries, is to turn on the emergency vehicle's sirens, and those will attract everything within basically like a 2-tile radius, so like for Echo Creek, the entire town, to that vehicle. If you have Molotovs, if you have firearms, that's a really good way of getting them crowded up to clear them out. Coming up on a pretty large crowd. But we're in the forest. Let's see if I can peel them off. There's a couple. That's more than a couple. Back to the pitchfork. Hi, guys. This pitchfork's such a godsend early on. Once this breaks, I'm screwed. Any of you have keys on you? Okay. If you let your equipment get too bloody, it can slip out of your hands, and you can lose it mid-fight. If you get hit, especially from behind, you can lose things that you're wearing, such as my respirator, my beanie. If you're using firearms and you're trying to reload and you get hit, you have a chance of dropping the magazine you had in your hand. You're getting exhausted. I'm fighting too much. We've already got 60 KIA, and we dinged at least. We got 60 Z's killed, and I haven't even really found my way into 10 minutes, so I'm definitely doing too much. Needs to chill. Oh my god. Okay, this way, back to the woods. Back to the woods. Okay. If you have something equipped secondary in your hand, you can't use it as a, a second melee weapon. You can only push with it. So, if you need to swing with something in it has to be in your primary. At one point, I thought maybe that was a good way to deal with muscle strain, and I didn't realize that all I was doing was pushing away, and it was getting me it got me killed. Alright, so that muscle strain thing I was telling you about earlier, see how we're swinging slower? This is us tired. If you're exhausted, you can get to the point where all you're doing is just beating somebody down with a pipe or whatever's in your hand, and you will actually start to drain its condition instead of taking them out. You can get so exhausted it'll take you like 40 hits to take out a zombie. They do take more damage while they're on the ground, and they do take more damage from behind. Yeah, see how it's slowly but surely it's taking more and more swings? That's exactly what I mean. We have a knife, we don't need more. We will take the potatoes because those are preserved, and boxed garbage bags because you can use those to make rain catchers. A can of chili because it's preserved food, and we will be on the run. A can opener because we can't open the chili otherwise. And we will drink both the grape and the orange juice. Get ourselves some extra calories because we've yet to stabilize our condition. Nothing else, though. We're good on everything else. I'm going to clear the rest of the house, and then I will wash and clean our clothing. Having dirty clothing really doesn't do anything. It's more of an aesthetic thing. If you have hobbies downloaded, your character can become sick if you... Oh, crayons are good. You can draw on your map, and the crayons let you do it in any color without having to have, like, 4 different markers on you. Having a dirty body, so blood and materials on your skin, can lead to more easily infected wounds. But like I said, having dirty clothes really doesn't do anything to you unless you have hobbies on. I don't know where that last knocking is coming from, so we are gonna find the light switch. Hold on. We're gonna clean our clothing real quick. He's probably coming in from that building right here, which is probably their basement. Clean the weapons so I don't lose them. And what's my dirty at? 6 and 5, that's fine, so we're gonna get a drink. Let's see if we can clear out this basement, and we'll take some time to rest in there. We'll read those magazines that we have in our bag, we'll drop those off, and then kind of plan our next move. This pipe's gonna break soon, too, so... Weapon skills train on hits. So, for example... Oh, Christ, I've done it again. For example, shotguns are the best way to train your aiming because every pellet hit into a crowd of zombies counts as skills towards your overall training. Same thing with why I'm using the pipes. They're blunt weapons that train my skills up so that when I use my crowbar that we picked up a little bit ago, I'll be good to go. Alright, nothing really down in here, so we're gonna take a breather. And we're gonna read. We only found these two, and out of the two, one's a vehicle. I'm not too worried about this. This one's exciting, though, because this is for farming, and you have to take care of your plants. You have to water them, you have to fertilize them, you have to handle disease, and this one apparently teaches us how to cure flies, which is solid. We got Mickey running around. Hit bippity boppity boo. Put them together, and what do you get? A Disney lawsuit. Right, did I finish that, or did me moving screw me up? Me moving screwed me up. Whoopsie. There we go. And while you're sitting and reading, you are actively regaining your stamina. Alright, we're good to go. We no longer need to carry these, because once you've read them, you own them. And we don't have a house, so I have no place to store them and, you know, make my own little collections. Smoker, you do need to smoke every so often in order to get rid of unhappiness and stress. If you stack them up high enough, they are detrimental to you, and if you... it's 2300. Can we sleep here? We can. Let's do that. If you let stress and unhappiness stack high enough, it can kill you. Extremely uncomfortable. Your clothes, the environment, or something. Probably the rat running across our chest. Oh, damn it, I forgot to turn that part of forgot to... Hobbies added a hygiene aspect of it. I forgot to turn it off. That's on me, guys. Where are those hordes? We are refreshed and ready to go. We are bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. So let's peel a couple of these guys. If you're crouching and you hit Q,
hey,
you whisper. If you're standing and you hit Q, you scream. Alright, I think this one... No? There we go. One saw me now. Come on. This way. Away from your friends. That's right, Arnold. Come on. Okay, no car keys. I lost the other one. Damn it. There we go. Two more. Nope, killed them both. Okay. And another one. Oh, that's the whole group. Alright. The good thing about farm towns, plenty of farming instruments. Actually, didn't think about that before. The pitchfork's so broken that I get excited every time I find it. But for some reason, my dumbass never thought to consider that, oh yeah, go check farms for farm tools. I'm always like, let's go hit up the police station. The police station in Moldra on 42 is fun. I cracked it open the other day. I finally fought my way into it on High Pop. And they replaced the armory, the gun room, with an evidence locker. And some of the evidence shelves are wild. I think I found 5 with 5 stacks of money, a sawed-off M87 shotgun. I found so 42 added things like photographs and notes that just add little tidbits to the world that make them feel alive. So for example, I bet you the thing on the counter here is going to be either like a condolence letter, or it's going to be it's just a normal note. Ooh, more preserved foods, yes please. Sometimes you'll find speeding tickets in people's wallets. We want the spoon, because that lets us eat faster. I kid you not, a spoon lets you eat food faster. You know, as opposed to your bare hands, who would have thought? So inside the evidence locker, I found a stack of like 5 cash, a sawed-off shotgun, a picture where it was that was described as, and I quote, suspicious-looking men. Another one that was a photo that just said 2 men kissing, which I thought was hilarious. And the very next, I put that in the wallet. Whoopsie. The very next locker next to it was yeah, see, like photo of a battlefield medic. Was basically a Yakuza locker. It was, you know, a note that was like a copy of an incriminating letter, pictures of suspected mobsters. Like, it had like 2 MAC-10s in it. It was just goofy, and I think that's probably my favorite thing I've found in this game so far. Alright, we need to drink. Yet to find... I could carry around a glass or this kettle and drink that way, but we're so early into the apocalypse that we still have a couple of days before the water shuts off on us. So I'm okay sticking it out until I find a dedicated water bottle. The other thing we're gonna do, so nobody has to see this, and that's just gonna get rid of this moodlet. It doesn't show you anything. Hobbies literally does the Sims thing where it blurs it out, but it's YouTube. I'm being extra safe. Same thing with showers. You have to take a shower or get cleaned up every so often. And I think washing yourself in the sink counts towards that, but by the next stream, I'll have that shut off. I don't enjoy that aspect of the mod. I like the music and the hobbies. You know, it gives you something to do in a game without end goals. I could do without the... There's a lot of realism in my game, or in this game. That's a little too much realism in my game. Oh, hey, look, the door's open, so we don't have to jump through the window like a psychopath. Kentucky Farmer Mildew Cure, yes please. Exposure Survival. We don't have a TV or a house yet, so we're going to leave that behind. I should start in farm towns way more often. There is just so much good stuff here. Why not? And again, I don't believe I adjusted my settings for loot. I think they're all set to 0.6, which is standard for 42. I'm not complaining. Sleep pills, we want that. Tweezers in case we get glass lodged in our crotch. And now that I have a belt, I'm finding them everywhere. Alright, we are overweight, so let's take a look at what we've got going on. 16 out of 14. That's because our backpack is up to 22 out of 73. And our wallet doesn't really weigh a thing, so I'm not too worried about that. Probably because we have this metal pipe on us, but it's about to die, so I'm not too worried. You know what, in fact, let's just drop it here. Yeah, that dropped us down to 15. One more drink for the road. Let's continue on it. See no goals in the chat. Ooh, that's going to attract the zombies. So that was a meta event. The ones I've heard in the past normally are gunshots, but that scream is going to drag them towards whatever side of the screen it came from. It does give the sense of the world that you are not the last one, but until they get the NPCs update going... Alright, we have a fence between them and us. I'm confident. Famous last words. Until they get NPCs going, you're the only man in the world. Or woman. And this is why I told you fences are your best friend. Fences get them on the ground. On the ground gets them more damage. On more damage means less swings. Less swings means more dead Z's. Chevalier Crest Wagon, that is what we were looking for. Let's go find it. That's the other house that we already cleared. Okay. Yeah, see, so these guys over here are heading towards the meta event now. The gunshot one will drag them from miles. Basically, if you hear that, try to start heading the opposite direction, but be mindful of running into the crowd that's coming your way. Anything, I'm hoping that that key we picked up isn't one of those crashed cars down the road. It's nearly dead. Wait. How do you burn kale? What is that even? I can't imagine the smell. Alright, too many enclosed space. Come here. Let them come to us. Open, we can run. Inside a building, you've got walls that are going to get you boxed in. Alright, and old-fashioned can opener. We already have a can opener, so we're good. Although, I think the old-fashioned may weigh less, so that might be something to look for in the future. Alright, I see you. Come on. Z's don't attack through open windows yet. So you are perfectly okay to sit here and nail them as they come through. Oh, fuck. Out of the house. Where the hell did she come from? Alright, come on, Gloria. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. If they come at you from behind, it's a different story. Getting hit from behind is a death sentence. You are so much more susceptible from the rear that I'd say 85 to 90% of the times I've been hitten, it's come from a surprise attack to the back. Make sure to remove broken glass so you don't shred your gloves and your hands when you climb through. Where'd those last two go? There they are. Let's not get snuck up again. Maintenance goes up like weapon skills. The more damage you do or the more hits you do with a weapon, and it doesn't, or and it loses condition, the more experience points. Sorry, been doing a lot of talking nonstop, and it's messing me up. The more experience points you get. All right, we don't want to set the world on fire, so let's take out the empty pan and turn on our stove. You know what? For good measure, let's cook this mutton chop too. We need food at this point. And with that whetstone, we can sharpen our axe. A good thing I like to do while cooking, because cooking is both simple and complicated at the same time. You have to use the crafting menu to create certain recipes, open packages, put things like muffin mix into the muffin pan that's sitting on the counter. But to cook anything, from a pot of soup to mutton chop to whatever, slap it in the oven, turn that baby on. I have quite literally never messed with these unless I was planning to use it as a distraction for zombies. I've never turned these down or up unless I was planning on burning down the house. Normally, while the distraction for the zombies was going on. You just wait for the cooking to go up, and you're golden. Pay attention to it, otherwise it will burn your house down. If you put silverware or any form of metal inside of a microwave and turn the microwave on, it'll explode. I kid you not, it explodes. Again, another really good way of dealing with a crowd of zombies is to find alarm clocks or timers or radios, blast the music or the timer or the volume inside of a building, watch the crowd go in while that microwave is spinning. And if you've stacked it with silverware or whatnot, kaboom. The problem is there is a random chance that that microwave will just go off the moment you turn it on. It's kind of weird that way. So don't be cognizant of those things. Now, we'll remove both of these from the oven because that oven retains its heat for like a minute or two. So anything in there will continue to cook. And hopefully by eating this whole pot of soup and this mutton chop, we will finally stabilize our weight. I'm too full to eat more. Well, crap. Never mind then. And I cannot take this thing with me. Oh, we can drop the wine bottle. We don't need that. We have the iron bar still that we could use. We'll hold on to that for a minute. Will that give us enough space? It did. Cool. And we have a plastic bottle now, which means we will drink passively. Another cool thing that they added in 42 is you can mix in alcohol and water, or soda and water, or soda and alcohol if you're so inclined, and any other liquid into the same container, and it dilutes it. So, for example, if you're playing with the extended traits mods and you choose alcoholic, you can put like a drop of alcohol in there and fill the rest with water, and your character is now good to go. It's not as punishing as it used to be. It's now more manageable. On the other end of that, that's a survivor house. We want that. On the other end of that, sometimes you get, you know, confused, or you're using it, you pull out a bottle that you're using for gas, not paying attention, fill it with water, and now your character's drinking gasoline, making themselves sick and more prone to death. You don't know why, and then next thing you know, your character that survived for 3 years is dead. We know a thing or two, because we've seen a thing or two. Boarded up houses are basically treasure troves. This is a survivor house. They have a random chance of spawning. And if you find an annotated map, 9 times out of 10, they lead to some variation of a survivor zone. They are excellent because they are normally stocked with weapons and ammo. That was our axe. And that's why I kept that iron bar. I had a feeling. And because we have... See if we can get through this other door. Sometimes we get lucky, they are unlocked. Other times they are not. Because we have a hammer, we can unbarricade this baby. Now, just because it was barricaded doesn't mean it's clear. Sometimes survivor stories proc, and buildings are filled with zombies from, you know, said survivors. It's not a crack house, it's a crack home. Dead mouse. Because this place was up for sale, it's a 50-50 on whether or not we'll actually find any decent loot in here. Yeah, it looks like that's gonna be a no from them, dog. Can we slap this? No, it is a back only. We'll sacrifice the sacrifice quick access to the pitchfork for now for that. Alright, so that's a bummer. It was a good example of a survivor's house, but I'm kind of bummed that there's nothing in here. Yeah, we got beer. Oh yeah, I'm inside. Alright, where to from here? Chevalier Wagon is the key that we picked up. Just don't know where that would be. Ooh, another barricaded house. Let's fight to that. This is where I die. I'm a loot goblin. I don't know when to stop. I'm aware of that fact. I actively work against doing that, but it's what gets me almost every time. The problem is I want a car to get out of here. I want a car so we can get out of here. So we can find a place to live. And we can start setting up shop and planning raids into other cities. But in doing so, I am probably going to very quickly overextend myself, and that's probably going to be what gets me killed. Are there any broken windows? No, but that's another crowd of 3 I don't want to deal with. Alright, so... front door it is. Not that door. That door is shaking. Honestly, perfect. Couldn't have asked for a better time for that to proc. Now, the only question is anything coming this way? Doesn't even look like it. Beautiful. Let's get in here. No house alarm for ourselves, so good to go. If a house has curtains, close them. The zombies can see inside through barricades. Alright, let's clear this. Gonna go out on a limb and say these guys gave up. Bet you one of them has a gun, or we're gonna find some bleach on the ground somewhere. That wasn't shaking. That's curious. There's a broken one. This is what I'm talking about. Survivor houses are stacked. We are in no position to use any of this. We are not capable of success or effectively utilizing firearms. But they got food for days. They got ammunition. They are solid, and they are totally worth getting into if you can. Honestly, we may just want to take this house. Yeah, it's a full library down here. So boredom's not an issue. And in the long run, we can retrofit that room into a storage facility. Most of the building is already barricaded. Our big thing is going to be up here. This one's another obvious suspect. Sometimes, even if you know that they're on the other side and are prepared to swing, it's still a gamble. Because sometimes you have no way of knowing how many others are on the side. I'm getting sick from all the corpses. Either that or just because of... Might be the smoker trait kicking in. We haven't had a cigarette in a while, so we may start coughing because we are basically smoker's lung. The amount of guys we've cleared out of here, I don't know if we can take this place now because we may be running the risk of catching disease from the corpses. They've got to be on the back door. Now remove curtains, remove broken glass. There's one. The banging stopped. So we're overweight and we're exhausted. That's why we tripped. Trying to get over that window, that railing. Excuse me. Go down. This may become one of those moments where we're so exhausted that we're not going to be able to do the damage that we need to take these guys out. There he is, that one. Alright. We are exhausted. Whether we like it or not, we're holding up here. Fill our bottles so we don't have to empty our, clear out our stuff. Again, those guns are cool. I can't use them yet. I can, but not gonna do me any damn good. I say we go downstairs, we hide, we eat a meal, we recoup, and we figure out what to do next. Perfect. Paper bag is the perfect thing. You know what? He's earned it today. Actually, we don't need that one. We need this one. Alright, I saw, yep, everyday smithing. Carpentry level 1, yes. Now, I know we're over encumbered, but we're not leaving this room. So once I find the books that I want him to read, like those, we'll slap this bad boy down right there. Take a sit on our chair. And have ourselves a snack. In the period of time that we're doing this is probably a good time for you guys to get up, grab some food or some water if you want, you dehydrated noodles. And I'm just going to let our character recuperate a little bit. We're very tired, we're miserable, aka we haven't had a smoke in a while. I'm actually going to have him unequip this mask so we don't spend the entire time taking it off to put it back on. Any challenges you guys want to see? Anything that you guys want me to do? I'm thinking I don't want to set up in the middle of Echo Creek. The crowds are nowhere near as bad as somewhere like Moldra or Riverside, but they're still pretty nasty. And all it's going to take is one mess up in order to get me, you know, KIA. So what I'm thinking is we'll find something on the edge of town, and we'll set up there. The big thing for me is I want to get a car. If I can get a car, we're golden. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I don't know what's in Echo Creek. You know, normally I make it my mission to get into the police station or clear out the hospital or something like that, but I don't know what's around. So if you guys have ideas, let me hear it. Alright, we're good on water. It's 7, almost 6:30. So once he's had a chance to come down from food, we'll go clear out whatever the hell's upstairs, because it sounds like we've got friends. And based on the fact that it stopped smacking, I say that they're inside now. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go get them. So they broke through that window. They didn't come in. Did you just break my shit just to be a dick? Oh, there's two of you. Okay. Batter's up. Come on, go down, go to sleep. There we go. There's another one. Okay. Any more out there? No. Alright, batter's up. And do you guys have car keys? No, you don't. Well, I can't do anything about this because I don't have nails, so we're just going to close that back up and go back to our hidey hole. After we wash, we are filthy. We're also sitting at about 2 hours. I don't want to do another 4-hour stream. So, I don't know, how you guys feeling? We'll spend the night downstairs, and we'll see how things look in the morning, but I'm not... I don't know. Let me know how you guys are feeling. I also don't know what that noise is. You hear it in the, you hear that sliding in the background, right? That's a new one to me. I don't know what that's from. Alright, 7:40. Let's get to bed at a decent hour this time around. And this time, not in a rat-infested basement. Two layers of doors between us should be okay. I heard that window break. Oh, are we gonna wake up dead? We're gonna wake up dead. I hear something jumping around, or crawling around upstairs. We'll read this Kentucky Farmer real quick to get it out of our backpack. We did not wake up dead, that was a bonus. And because we are but level 1, we will maintain that carpentry box, or bag, book. No, we won't, we don't have the space for it. Okay. We've earned it, we'll drink it, and we'll get going. My kingdom for a car. Again, next stream, I apologize, it will be gone, but I ain't risking anything because it'd be YouTube. Again, I don't like that part of hobbies, I forgot to shut it off, I apologize. This door, it's not barricaded. We will take one of the nightsticks, that's a solid weapon. And because we are equipping ourselves, we're just going to drop this iron bar. It is not as good as anything we're gonna find in here. Take the kitchen knife and replace the fillet knife with it. We lost that axe, so we no longer need the whetstone. We're holding on to the garden fork for now. Broken long stick, broken large handle with nails. Leaving those behind. Ooh, yeah, we're reading these before we go. So the schematics are new with blacksmithing skill in 42. They literally just teach you how to build things. They are valuable. They are worth their weight in gold. And if I had friends, I'd be holding on to them in order to give them to said people. The M29's a 44, the 36 a 38. And the rest of this we're nowhere ready to deal with. And there's not enough ammunition to warrant bringing these guns with us and ringing the dinner bell, so we're going to leave them behind. If I found, like, a fully loaded gun, I'd probably hold on to it for emergency purposes, but 3 rounds of 38 is not worth me getting killed over. Just realized I had no back weapon prepared, so we're going to put the shovel there. Generators, they're rare, they're powerful, they're the only way to get electricity after the electricity goes out. Putting them inside will kill you from smoke inhalation. I've learned that the hard way. And be very careful because not everything is clear about what counts as inside. If we had a base already, I'd be picking that up and ending our little foray into town right then and there in order to take that with us. Nothing in here. A map. So if you find maps in the world, read them. Because this map of West Point now unlocks all of West Point for us. And we can zoom in and see the entire town and plan out our movements. Where is the homing button? Well, this is otherwise everything that we've discovered. Not a lot, but we're doing really well for early game. Okay. You have battery, you have gas, we have our car. Ladies and gentlemen, We need to leave, because I'm an idiot. Time to go. Yeah, see, I just attracted the entire horde. What are you wearing? That's a dress, not a backpack. That was a mistake. I hit the wrong button. That was goofy. I pressed Q for antidote. Do I risk it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're George A. Romero zombies. Their hearing is set to poor. I risk it. Risk it for the biscuit. Come on, boys. Swing with me. Should have put the bag in the car. And batteries up. Alright, first thing we're gonna do is drop this bag in the trunk. It's gonna get me killed if I don't get it off my back. Refuel for the gas pump. Car's not in the best of shape, as you can... Okay, I'm parked too close. Car's not in the best of shape, as you can clearly see from some of the cracks and everything. However, it's better than having no car at all. Because each of the seats are at least 26 pounds of storage, and certain trunks can be anywhere between 114 to 56 pounds of storage, but still, that's a crap ton in comparison to what we just had of 19 on our body and 26 in the back. Let's, see if I can find some cigarettes to get rid of this depression. Said every soldier ever. Now that we have a car, we want a wrench. We want maps. The box of batteries is good because that means we don't have to scavenge every single one of them out of every flashlight on the planet that we find. Beef jerky never goes bad. The chips never go bad, but it is what it is. I'm not looking to raid everything, I just want the essentials. We can always come back on a raid. My concern is that once I hit the area around Echo Creek, I'm not going to know where I am, I'm going to get lost, I'm going to start to starve. There is... finally. Can I scratch this? Sometimes you can. Alright, cool. I think it's too dark. I think that's probably why. Those gotta be... Alright. Let's drop those off in the car. And then we will get into that garage right next door. I do really need to get this guy a cigarette, though, otherwise he's going to be uber depressed. Worse so than he already is. I think the cough is coming from the cigarettes. I think, or lack thereof. I know somebody said that they debuffed smoker. I think that's wrong. I think it just randomly causes you to cough. Which in a place like Louisville is gonna get you killed. Things to remember for me. Hand drill. The wrap lets us carry more equipment. That's good. I have a flashlight. We're good there. Let's clear this guy out now before he notices us. I don't know how I would swing a spade like a baseball bat, but I don't know if I'd be holding it like that. I don't know. How would you do it? Put your hands like further up, like a baseball bat, choke it a little higher? Or would you put it low like he is? You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm ranting now. Small hacksaw's good. Second welding torch is good. Welding torches are what allows you to break down vehicles in the road, and they will let you build up your base with metal sheets and, you know, other fortifications. In terms of vehicles, you can use them if you are of sufficient skill to basically weld on and Mad Max your car. Though that, however, I will caution, is 100% a modded vehicle thing. KI5 takes a lot of attention to detail to that kind of thing. So that's where that comes from. Ooh, empty gas can. So we have more than just what's in our tank now. And the rest of it don't matter, because we're not here to repair our vehicle. We are just here to get what we need and get out. Right, which way do we go? We go back the way we came. We can head further into the countryside. I want to fill that up. Need to fill up my water bottle before we go. If we head north, aka to the top of the screen, we might be able to find a secluded house, but I know for a fact we'll be away from the rest of the cities that we can go to. A bit of a catch-22. We can be further away from everything and be safe, but take longer to get there. Or we can be closer to everything, but run the risk of having a horde or something come after us. Driver's seat. Front right, rear right. We have no friends, so I don't care about filling up the car. Well, I have you guys, but you know what I mean. ISO fuel tank. Hello? What is that? What is the fuel tank? There are things about this game that I don't know. I'm still learning. Every damn day I'm still learning. There's an upstairs. I didn't see the stairs when we came in, but that might be something to check out. Alright, let's get out of here. ISO fuel tank. Fuel tank? Hello! Didn't expect to find you down in the deep, dark deep. Oh, and you have friends. How great. Wow, this is massive. Huh. Ooh, box of nails. That you need, plus a hammer, in order to, barricade houses with. Use the hammer, and you use why is it so hard to talk sometimes, man? Why am I like this? Anyway, use the hammer, use the nails, and you use wooden planks in order to cover over windows as best as you can. From the outside, you can do 2 layers. You can do both outside and inside the window. So that equals 8 planks. Regardless of outside or inside, zombies have to get through all 8 boards before they can come into your house. I'm way overweight. We need to stop back at the car as soon as we get done in here. I'm just looking for more cigarettes and more, preferably an axe. It appears that is not my lucky day. Alright, let's go. We'll hit the upstairs and the other room next to this here in a second. I think we're gonna head south. We're gonna head towards everything, but run the risk of having a horde eventually wander in on us. I think that's the smarter move, because again, we need to run sorties into town. We need to deal with finding supplies and maintaining... We've already been in there. Maintaining basically our ability to self-sustain. Good night, sweet prince. I don't know what that ISO tank thing is. I've never seen that before. It's got to be like a tanker or something. You know what I mean? Like a gasoline tank. Spaghetti bolognese. Thank you for your donation to the Campfire Survival Fund. Your duffel bag will be greatly appreciated. Ravioli, ravioli. Open the can of bolognese soup. If you haven't already, go check out anything that Ambiguous Amphibian has put out on Project Zomboid. He is a much better savant than I. And, where you will get to watch me struggle and laugh at my pain, he will teach you how to truly survive. Alright. Yeah, I'm certain now. We're heading south. Hey, D&D. Yoink. We'll have a full set. That is going to be a goal. Create a full set of dice to play D&D with. Anyway. What was I going to say? Yeah, we're going to head south, and we're going to find a house to live in down there. Doesn't have to be far away from town, but it just needs to be far enough. We'll do that in an extra keyring too. Alright, let's get out of here. That looks like a good haul to me. You see a place that looks good? Don't be afraid to tell me. I'm happy to take your guys' opinions on things in order to figure out where you guys want to go. Equipment container. Now, I did not have a notebook in here. It was in the back. Notepad, pencil. Quick look around. Alright, we're clear. Alright, so. Cannot rename this, so. Oh, yes, I can. No, we'll call it survival goals. "100 things to do before we die." Number 1. Find a full set of D&D dice. Priorities, people. Alright, let's turn on the radio. Oh, I have to physically scroll this one. Never mind, we're not turning on this radio. Sometimes radios have pre-programmed and you can get into the news station, which is telling you what's going on. Other times you have to scan in order to get to. Oh, I froze. Let's slow down so I don't die. If you crash your car going like 65 in this game, you will go through the windshield. No seatbelts. We die like real men. That's a farm. It's a huge-ass chicken farm. We can go down this way. You know what? Let's find something down here. Maybe we'll find, like, an actual townhouse. We've increased our sneaking and light-footed by a bit, and we've only gotten to level 3 fitness. So we've already halved the detriment that unfit gave us. And that's one of those things where you have to balance out the negative traits that you have. Some of them are permanent, like thin-skinned. Every bit of damage you take does an immediate 30% damage on top of what it would have done normally. So a scratch becomes a laceration just outright kills you. But, to that same vein, thick-skinned is also permanent, and, okay, this leads us back the way we came. Thick-skinned does the opposite, and, you know, something that would kill you now leaves you nearly dead. And so on and so forth. I keep going off the road, because I'm keep trying to multitask. Don't stream and drive, kids. We're actually going to drop down to like 40 and just cruise for a minute. At a crossroads with no demon in sight. We'll continue going this way. I'll be happy if we find just like an isolated townhouse or something. Looks like I may get my wish here in a second. Because these are fenced off areas. Big open field. Big open field. Back in the car. Where to go, where to go? Hello? Hello? Hello, sailor? I'm gonna hang out here just because I want to check this thing out. Hello? Can I get in? Let me in! Let me in! Oh, we have to find a key. Fair. Oh my god, can we get into the interior of this? Oh, it's in great condition, too! Oh, we've got to find the keys. We've gotta. I think we just found goal number 2. Drive a tank. Axe? No axe. Keys? Axe. Axe. Yeah! We are now broken. We have an axe. Axpert literally means that no crowd can stand before us. They will fall as wheat in the wind. Yeah, we have to have a thing to unscrew that. Okay. We might take over this little townhouse over here. This seems to be like a solid place for us to set up. Or at bare minimum, get our shit together. You know what I mean? See if this car has keys in it. Like you saw with the one, sometimes you'll find keys in the glove box or on the seats. Sometimes you used to be able to check doors and find a key in a door. But if I remember correctly, that was removed in 42. Either something wasn't working right with it, or some other reason. I have no clue if they'll be bringing that back. Alright. Let's clear the rest of the house, and then I think that will be a perfect time to call it.
Hey!
Nope, I don't want you breaking my windows. Yep, through here, boys. Come on. Come on. Swiss cheese out there. I'm hungry and I'm exhausted, so this is gonna be ugly if I let things go badly.
Hey!
Someone's banging on the window. Where? Yep, come back this way. Come on. I want blood on my walls. Come on. Come on, Karen. We all know you dye your hair. How many people were in this house? You can't look at that hair and tell me that's not fake. Alright. Got a little blood on the inside, but that's nothing bleach won't fix. Good, good. There's no basement, which is a downside, but... I'm not complaining. Ladies and gentlemen, we found home. At least for now. And it's got chickens out back. Holy crap. So I didn't just find food, I found a long-term resource for food. As long as I take care of them. And maybe this is... There's a little baby chick! Look at him! Look at him! As long as I take care of them. I don't know... Maybe that's what the scythe is for? Because I like the hay, the grass cuttings. I've never dealt with chickens before. Grass cuttings, animal feed bag, hay. These guys not need water? I guess not. I have some reading to do. I've never experienced birds before. But we found home. We did a lot in our first stream. We found a car. We found weapons. And we started our list. Number 2. Drive a tank. And I think that's where I'll leave it here. Like I said, I'm gonna play this while I'm still figuring out Voices of the Void, because the way you manipulate things in that game don't make sense to me, and that says more about me than the game. But on the other end of that, I'm going to show off this gem of a game that I love so much, and I'm going to have fun and live my life to the fullest while I do it. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you guys, if you're at all interested, continue to watch so that you can make the informed decision about buying this game. It is so much better with friends, and if things work out, I'll have a series where I and 3 of my friends are goofing off in this game, trying to live our best life in the zombie apocalypse. So without further ado, be safe, have fun, and don't die, ladies and gentlemen.